The Nintendo 64 controller is one of the most infamous controllers I can think of. People always talk about its shape, button layout, and how to hold it. A lot of people like myself have memories of getting blisters on the palms of their hands from playing Mario Party like a madman as a kid. Apparently, this was such a widespread problem that Nintendo started giving away free Mario Party gloves so parents would stop complaining. I never knew anyone growing up that had a glove, but in hindsight, that would have been a good idea. Okay, so besides the blisters, let's back up for a minute. I remember that trying to figure out the correct way to hold this thing as a kid was a complete mystery. For an embarrassingly long time, I held the controller like this. I thought it was awkward compared to the Super Nintendo controller, but I didn't really question it. I just accepted it. Thankfully, I learned the proper way to hold it, but you gotta admit, it is kinda weird. So that's why it's awesome that Retrobit let me try out these brand new N64 controllers called the Tribute 64. This is the first in the line of controllers they're calling the Platinum Collection. There will apparently also be NES and SNES controllers coming in the future. Much like their Sega Genesis controllers that I reviewed a few months ago, you can choose between various colors and you can choose between the classic N64 port or a USB port. You can choose between red, forest green, and ocean blue. This time I went with red and forest green because last time I chose the translucent blue look for the Genesis controller and I wanted to switch it up a bit. If you get the one with the USB port, it allows the controller to be compatible with Steam, PC, Mac, and the Switch. Okay, so let's try it out. It feels a lot smaller and more comfortable to hold right off the bat. I feel like no matter the size of your hands, you can easily access all of the buttons. The first thing that grabbed my attention with these things was the analog stick. This stick feels a lot more durable than the original ones that often got loose or broke over time. And they seem a lot more comfortable for heated Mario Party competitions. The next thing I'd like to point out is the location of the Z button. As you can see, it's no longer located on the back of the controller. And now, you get two Z buttons. The dual Z buttons are shoulder buttons, which is a lot easier to access while playing a game. It doesn't feel sticky or hard to push down, so no matter where your fingers land on this thing, you can press it with ease. One thing that did worry me though was the location of the D-pad. I thought it may feel awkward having it in the middle of the controller, but once it's in your hands, it's actually pretty comfortable to access. It doesn't require any awkward reach and it feels pretty natural. And on the back of the controller, it still allows for the memory card and rumble pack to be inserted in the back. Of course, the original N64 controller will always have a place in my heart, but I gotta admit, this is definitely a step up when it comes to comfort and accessibility. Plus, the controller is just kinda cute and the design is really sleek. The Tribute 64 controllers will be released on June 7th, ranging from $25.99 to $29.99. I hope you enjoyed this controller talk and thank you so much for watching.